you give it purpose, but its will is its own. The Windigo was directed by Gabe Torres, written by Brent Jordan, takes place in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where in the middle of the night, an elderly Native American woman calls somebody in an absolute panic. She's feeling indescribable fear to the point she can only utter the phrase, "It's come for me." The person on the other end is now equally as panicked, not knowing what the fuck's going on because this is a house phone. That's right, kids. House phones actually used to exist. You didn't just used to be able to look up stuff on the information superhighway. You actually had to punch in buttons on a phone. And yeah, naturally, she's just like, what's happening? Oh, hi, Windigo rerun. Yeah, so it turns out that actually it's a mother calling her daughter, and this daughter has 2 kids. And she says, we need to go take care of grandma so she doesn't get run over by a Windigo reindeer. They travel from California, where you can check out anytime you like and you actually can leave. So basically the Eagles lied to us. How dare you, Eagles? How dare you? So yeah, after they arrive, they see that the sheriff has arrested somebody that will come back to into play a little bit later on. And the grandmother is not doing all that well, shall we say. The house is not in the best shape. There are a lot of Dreamcatchers around, not to be confused with the Stephen King adapted movie, Dreamcatcher, that was dog shit. These are actual Dreamcatchers that are, part of Native American lore and actually do serve a purpose. They really do serve a purpose. Also, they're beautiful, beautifully designed. Nevertheless, you got the 2 young, they're, teens slash early 20-somethings, if we're being perfectly honest. We have Rye, short for Ryan, Marco Fuller, who's tired of being bullied no matter where he goes for being Native American. Just want to say, if you're going to bully somebody because of their race or their gender or who they want to be with, anybody in the LGBTQ community, you are fucking goddamn assholes. Don't judge people because of that stuff. We're all humans. But anyway, you also have his sister Bree, played by Fievel Stewart, not to be confused with Fievel Goes West. No, we're not going that. She is from that Uma, not Uma de Oprah, Oprah de Uma movie. The one with Sandra Oh. Yeah, her. And you also have the mother Claire. You have grandmother. And just want to say the Windigo is played by Troy James. And then there are a couple other characters factored into this. But basically it centers around this Native American family. Picking up the pieces, picking up the pieces. And then a few drug addicts basically almost do something really, really nasty to Rye and Bree. So Rye wants to get revenge. So the grandmother says, hey, summon this Windigo, do this ritual. And he does. And then things start to go south, because when it comes to summoning an ancient, deity like this that you really can't control, yeah, it seems like a great idea at first, and then it just gets out of control, and they must solve this mystery before they're all history. The Windigo Tales, woohoo. So yeah, that's pretty much your lot right there for the plot. There isn't a ton to spoil. Get into it in a little bit. Let's start with what I liked about this movie. I thought it was well shot. I thought the acting was decent. I thought there were pretty decent creature effects. And a couple of the body horror effects actually weren't all that bad. This is obviously a low budget, but a labor of love, and it did... I feel it honored the Native American, story. I mean, what little I would know about it, because I'm not Native American, sorry, but it did seem to have a love and appreciation for that, and that was nice. So, sure, low budget. I'm not going to necessarily say it was great, but it's certainly something worth your time, and I'd recommend you guys check it out. It is on Amazon currently for a few bucks. Support independent filmmakers like this, and then they can grow and do bigger and better projects. And they have done previous projects, Gabe and Brent. You can check out the respective IMDb pages for the full listens of their work. So, yeah. You want to say the mother also. To not Zen Carmelo. Pretty certain I screwed that up right there. She was in La Brea and a few other series. And then Casey Camp Hornick, who is the grandmother. There's a good family dynamic about this. I'll say that. It does tread familiar ground. It is what it is. It's not necessarily something that's going to set the world on fire, even if there are fire effects in this particular thing. But the Windigo actually does look pretty good. I'll say that much. And at least there's a neat little, story that ties into the very beginning of the movie. So I'm going to get into spoilers, though. So that's just something I want to say right now. check it out on Amazon, just for a few bucks. Let's support independent filmmakers and make sure that they can make bigger and better projects going forward. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, in the beginning, there was rap, as our Lord and Savior Dr. Dre once said. There was a Native American encampment, and there's some beating on some drums. A guy gets killed, and a young girl is looking on. Oh my God, I wonder who that young girl is. Oh, wait, the grandmother then calls, all panicked and everything, saying, it's come for me. What's come? What's happening? Yeah, I just said that already. And then they arrive, and Rye arrives. I'm sorry. The sheriff has arrested some drug addict guy that comes back into play a little bit later. Rye is a bit of a pricklish kid, shall we say, young man. He has his reasons. He's tired of being bullied and stuff like that. He doesn't want to be without cell service. I mean, really, who would? Then the meth heads show up. While Bree and Rye are exploring, the big backyard and surrounding area, they are going to hang him. They attack him. Yeah, they attack Rye and are going to hang him. They're going to hang him from a well. Throw him down the goddamn well. And just kill him. Because he looks different. Don't fucking do that. So Bree shows up. She, was actually there, snuck up, hit one of them in the face with an axe. That's a pretty good thing to do. We know where you live. The grandmother says, hey, summon this and you'll do good. So then he does. And then things start to get a little bit weird. And I do want to say that one thing about this movie that instantly gave me, flashbacks to another sci-fi movie was when it shows the fact that Rye sees through the eyes of the Windigo after he sets it up and everything. The eye thing reminded me of it came from outer space. And that, I mean that with respect. So if Gabe Torres came up with the idea after watching this, or maybe he didn't, that's just what it reminded me of. And I love this movie. So I really appreciated that shout. Really good, by the way. Really good sci-fi movie. Check it out. So, then we see him in his sleep, talking in his sleep as he's walking in his sleep. And, yeah, we get one of the guys killed down the well. Apparently Samara was busy, so she just left the well to the Wendigo. The well-to-go, as it were. I'm so sorry. And then, basically, they get picked off. There's one guy that gets, the guy from the well gets hung up and everything. Those are some gore effects, the decent creature effects here. One guy gets his leg cut off in a stump grinder. That was nice. I don't think it was a stump puller, but that was pretty cool. Rye is panicked and because he wants basically to be there for his family and everything, but he's feeling the absolute power in the pole, and the grandmother's trying to tell him, no, don't do that. Don't do that shit. The grandmother has a debt to pay, basically because the dad did some really bad things. The guy from the beginning. But Rye vows to protect her. And he feels he can control it. Spoiler, he can't. The other guy gets killed after his trailer gets ripped apart. And even though he stabs the Wendigo, he cannot end up defeating it. And then Rye basically ends up killing him. Cuts his legs off with a goddamn part of the door. That was actually kind of neat. And then kills him. And the sheriff's like, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? There's something up here because these guys do this, and naturally because they're white and this family's native, he's going to target the family that was targeted by hate. That's great police service right there. It's not all cops. I'm just saying that's a trope that the movie fell back on. And then basically the Wendigo comes after them and is going to kill the grandmother, but they decide to hold off in the barn and they're going to kill it. And then there was a little bit of CGI and some fire effects. And then they basically dispatched it. Well, they tried to. I did note that when they used a payloader and tried to get it, that they basically almost carnosaured the goddamn thing, which was kind of a fun movie. And then the grandmother, everybody basically dispatches the goddamn thing, and it's gone after Grandma gets killed. Because Grandma had a debt to pay. And there you go. So, it's over. Or is it? Maybe the debt is not quite paid and the Wendigo is still going to be around. We don't know because it fades to black after Rye hangs up a Dreamcatcher and they leave. They leave the house seemingly to just be sold, I assume. I don't know. The sheriff's dead also during this. So, it isn't bad. It's not necessarily great, but it's way above a lot of horror stuff that I've seen this year, especially low budget stuff. So C plus, check it out. Never know if you'll like it or not. Top notch, creature and gore effects given the limitations. Good stuff. And you know what? A pretty decent family dynamic. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.